YPD family, and welcome to the first episode of The Green Table. Today, I have nobody else here than our very own president, Miss Amber-Mae Jacobs.
Hi.
How are you feeling?
Nervous.
Okay, so let's just dive right in. How does it feel to be sitting in the chair that you are as the president bullet at a conference?
It feels surreal. I never thought I'd be here actually, because we'll get into the details later on. But it's a great experience. It's been a wonderful, what now, year and a half almost.
Yeah.
It's really nice working with the kids, and yeah, it's just really amazing.
Okay, let's get into the questions.
Mainly it's like a mix of me learning from them and them learning from me. Um, you can really learn a lot from young people, their perspectives on how they are growing in life, how I balance it. I try to be the best example for the YPD, with how I lead, or my perspective of being a leader. So my personal character, things like that. I'm a very introverted person, but I think I do tend to um, become extroverted when I see others that are more introverted. So
Like you feed off the
yes,
energy.
I feed
Yeah,
off
you
the
match the
energy. So if
vibe.
I see you all like sitting there quiet, I'll be like, "Hi, don't you want to talk to anyone?" Or I will just like sit there and talk to them. Just I try to make it as comfortable for everyone as possible, because I myself know that it's a very stressful environment to be in, trying to be a leader at a young age.
Yeah. And your faith? How do you balance that?
Oof.
Growing strong in your own faith, but also having to bring kids to God.
Mm. I think within the YPD, I do still struggle with it. But another aspect of my life as dance director is where I feel like I'm more growing in my faith. I am trying to grow it more within the YPD, um, just so that as a leader, you need to not just grow them through being courageous and strong and being a leader. Like you said, the faith based needs to be the thing that we need to work on, or I need to work on, so that I can encourage others also to grow in that. So I think in my dance life, I am more growing in faith, rather than my YPD life.
But you're trying to bring that
But
together.
I am trying
You're
to
trying to
bring
bring it. Yes. Okay.
yes.
I love that.
Personally, I'm not in it for the title. Um, there is a lot of pressure that people put on you, as you are just doing it for the title. You're just doing it because you want to be seen. Um, but that's not what I am doing it for. I personally was never planning on being in this role that I am in. Um, but I just felt that if it's gonna take being in a title to do what I want to do. But my goal was to always grow the YPD, and yeah, it had to take the title to do that. But that's not my being. The title is not my being. For me, I have to separate my personal feelings, agendas from myself, from the people. So I have to put their needs first. So that's what a leader in my mind needs to do. You need to put your the people that you are leading, you need to put what their needs are, what they want. You need to hear them before you can carry on as a leader. Instead of just doing what you think is best. And sometimes that is a good thing, but then sometimes it's also a bad thing, because then people within that organization are not enjoying the organization, because it's just like they are just following what the leader is always saying, what they are So it's just a matter of you putting aside your own agenda and listening to the people. So we back in November, I think it was, we there was an incident at our high school where a learner faced bullying, and we did have a pre session about it. But I don't think we just need to stop there. We as young people, obviously, we first need to it's the saying is always you first need to clean at your doorstep before you
Yeah.
um clean others, and then so what I feel like we need to first get our perspective on world reviews and discuss it before we set out a marketing campaign or a strategy to stop bullying, for example. Yeah.
So we first need to deal like with it in house, like
Yes, yes.
get our YPDs to understand like the urgency and the
Yeah.
dangerousness behind
Because
bullying, gender-based violence, and then go up.
within our organization, I feel like a lot of young people are also still struggling with bullying. Um, so I feel like we need to address that before we go and address the
Yes, the
world's
world.
issues. I think that is a very difficult thing that we are trying to get out of just being within the conference. Because, like I said, we're at the pre session, but it just kind of stopped there. It takes time. It does take time, and people are very busy nowadays with their own issues and things like that. So it takes time for us to really sit down and think about what are we going to do so that it just doesn't stop here. So what I think we can do is we can within our local churches we can start groups that we have constant prayer sessions for these things, like weekly prayer sessions. We can come together, we can do it online, and then eventually from there we can go to our areas, and our areas don't meet as often, but when we do, and I think it's the WMS that have like the gender-based violence at the end of the year where they have a yearly thing, but instead of a yearly thing, we can do it as a monthly thing, seeing that our areas don't meet as often.
But mainly we need to start educating YPDs on a
Yes,
local level before
exactly.
taking it up.
I think firstly it was already difficult for young people to speak out because they have this fear of being ridiculed and shamed essentially for speaking out on injustice. So it's difficult for them to speak out, and they when they're not comfortable with putting themselves out there, you are exposing yourself to being vulnerable. Essentially, you're exposing yourself to being judged. Um, so firstly, I'd say you you need to be comfortable with putting your opinion out there. Um, for example, somebody who's a social media creator, right? They have a following, and people won't always agree on their opinions, right? Um, but they still put their opinion out there. We're not encouraging people to run to social media, but just as an example, be be what's the word, bold enough to receive that backlash, to receive people not agreeing with your point of view.
And for example, like we speak about issues like gender-based violence and bullying, like be bold enough to speak about the
Yes,
topics
yes.
on, like speak out against. If you feel it's wrong, it is wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, so like yeah, so if they are in that position where they are able to speak out and they are confident enough to lift their opinions, how would you go about that?
Firstly, do it in a respectful manner. Find a way to address the situation, if it is in person or even on social media. Address it in a respectful way so that people firstly can hear you out, because I feel like when you come in with that disrespect already, people
With that harsh
yes,
engagement, that's already with it.
yeah, be kind, do it in a respectful, approach them with love. Whatever situation, if it's a person, a social injustice, approach them with kindness and love. Firstly, 1 Timothy 4 verse 12 says, let no one despise you because of your youth, right? So, just because you are young, don't let people tell you
You can't say anything.
you can't say anything, you're a child. Don't let that be in your mind. No matter how young you are, no matter if you're not even in a position, don't be afraid to voice your opinion on a matter that could lead to a positive change.
Yeah.
For example, if you're finding a problem with the program maybe for a Sunday service, you think you have a way that makes it more exciting for young people to come to church, don't be afraid to voice, because you yourself, you're speaking from experience.
Yeah.
You're a young person, you're speaking from experience. Don't be afraid to tell whoever is in charge, I think we can do this better, and then more young people will come because you're then speaking from experience. So why would they not hear you out?
Yeah, and it's really important for YPDs and like young people also to know you don't need a title to make a change
You
or
don't
difference.
need a title.
You can go out as a YPD, as a young person, you can go out and inflict a positive change. You don't need some type of title or something hanging over your head like this is the president, this is the first vice. You know, you don't need to go out into the world and be positive and make good changes.
For our youth at church now locally, no, not locally, but like in general, wherever you are in your youth, I feel like they have this mindset of what the YPD is. They have this thing where, the YPD is just meetings. It's just us sitting in our robe. That's not what we do. It's really not what we do. Yes, we do have the meetings. Yes, we do outreach. But it's the purpose of the YPD. The YPD is not just a place where we come and do meetings. We have fun. We try to make it fun for ourselves, because we ourselves, like when we're sitting in meetings, it's like it's training for ourselves as well. So we try to make it more fun for ourselves, make it a place where we are comfortable, where we as young people can be young people. So that's one mindset I would change in the young people in our church in general. It's the YPD is not just that clanky. You can come and literally we can have fun in our robes as we sit there, as we stand there. We can have fun in our robes. We can do the work of the Lord and still have time to be young. Yeah.
Why would you change that though? Why would you like try to change it? Why would you tell people come to the YPD?
Because you're the why. Why would you not want to come to the YPD? I mean, if you guys have seen our social media pages, we are a place where we want to make it our own. A place where we can go and say, okay, I'm going to the YPD today because I can be myself there. I can be whoever I want to be there. I can be free. My voice will be heard. So I always encourage people, come to the YPD. We love the love we have for one another. Yes, we do have our differences. In-house battles. Yes, we have our in-house battles. Who doesn't? But we have time to make friends with one another, to speak out about our differences, to sit down and talk about our conflict, and then we can move on with our lives, because we have a greater purpose than sitting there and creating conflict with one another. We are there for a reason. So join the YPD. Come to the YPD. Come to the YPD. It's fun over here. So much fun. It's really a place where you can just when you are at another church function or event, or with a different church, and you see someone who's also in the YP at that event, you know how it's so like you feel
It's the
from
best
the
feeling.
inside. You're just like, oh my word, my fellow YPD. It's the joy that you have in seeing a person who can really relate to you. Just it's so nice seeing other YPDs wherever you go. Like it's really a
Amazing feeling.
like it's like we feel like family. Really, we feel like it feels like family, and we are working on getting that to the broader conference. But we are getting there.
We're getting there.
Like I just said, connection, us building a stronger bond. We have had our differences within our conference previously, but for me, my main reason for running for president was for that connection to get YPDs together.
Mm.
There was issues, and we are getting past that because the future of our church is with the young people, as they say. So what? There is no point if there's no connection. So my goal is to build that bond within this YPD so that we can better the future of our organization and our church. Okay, as cliche as our slogan is, be bold, be brave, brilliant,
Beautiful.
beautiful. Yes, the beautiful Bullet Annual Conference. As cliche as it may sound, there is something that we need to carry forward and carry on to the next generation so that they can even be bolder, be braver, be more beautiful, be more brilliant than we were before. Because if not that, then what?
Yeah. So yeah, is there anything else you would like to say in this episode?
Like I said previously, just come and join the YPD. This organization is a place where you can really find yourself. You build a lot of confidence within this organization. You can lead even outside of the church, at your school, university, in your workplace. So the YPD really is an organization where you can find who you are as an individual.
And you can make the best friends.
And you can make friends for life.
Wow, honestly.
You can make friends for life. Like people not even within our conference, you can meet people from Namibia that you still will have contact with to this day. Yeah. Even if you see each other just once a year, you will still have that contact and that sense of home and connection. It's just a really great organization.
A safe space.
Yes.
For everyone. Like you can just come in there and be like, I'm going to the YPD.
Yes.
This is where I know like I can just like be myself. I can say what I want to. I can do what I want to, and it will be understood.
It will be heard.
Different people.
Yes.
Understood. It will be understood. Yes. It will be heard. It will be seen. And honestly, otherwise, it's just the perfect like, community.
Yeah.
Little family, you know.
Little family.
But yeah, honestly, one highlight for you so far.
Ooh. The convention we had last year, our
Ooh,
convention
please.
/ LTI that we had. Grateful to Bishop for allowing us to do that. We had a 2-day convention.
Yeah.
And it was just, people still talk about it to this day. And I think that the expectation for this coming LTI is very high.
Wow.
Yeah, it was just the weekend, the bonds that we've built.
It was a weekend of restoration.
Yes.
Of coming together, sitting down, talking. It was
the debate.
Oh, the debate. It was wonderful.
It was great. Yes, honestly. It started with pizza and burgers, but it ended on.
It's something so beautiful. Yes. Something just like you. It just honestly.
I'm looking forward to the next one.
It was really like a turn. That's it. The YP just took a different course, and it was amazing. Definitely. Yeah, guys, we can talk about this all day. We can talk about this all day.
See you at the next LTI.
So yeah, guys, That is us for this episode, episode one of the Green Table. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.